We are doing the analysis, breakdown, and prediction video of the Detroit Lions versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll go into offense, defense versus offense, and at the end, I give you my thoughts on who wins the game. But before we do that, who do you think wins the game? In the comments right now, put TB if you got the Buccaneers winning, put DET if you got the Lions. This Week 2 matchup is a good one. NFC Showdown. Lions are home again September 15 at a 1 p.m. The Lions are favored by 7 points to win the game. The underdogs, obviously, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the total over and under is 51. The Lions are sporting a 1-0 record, defeating the Rams. Points per game offensively in that game, they scored 26. That's 13th in the NFL. Points allowed per game, they allowed 20, 12th. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they defeated the Washington Commanders, 1-0 record. They put up 37 points in that game. That's second in the NFL. And they allowed 20 points, even though it's 16th. It's really the same at 12. Just a little bit analytics different how ESPN does it, but a good defense nonetheless. This is a huge game for both squads here. Why do I say that? Because they're trying to get seeding. I think probably both of these teams are playoff teams. Obviously, I have the Lions being a playoff team. Same with Tampa Bay. They were that last year. But obviously, you never know throughout the season because there can be some injuries. So let's get into the injuries for both teams really quick. Afutu Melifonwu was questionable. He's been dealing with an Achilles. He is a backup as of this point, not the significant injury. DJ Reader, probable. He looks like he's going to be making his debut on Sunday. On that defensive line, we're all excited, and Logan Strickland questionable with a finger. The Buccaneers are more injured here. Bryce Hall, he's going to be out in this game, starting cornerback. Kalijah Cansey, questionable to play. Logan Hall, edge, questionable. Antoine Winfield, doubtful. Josh Hayes, questionable. Zion McCullen, questionable. Their team has a lot of injuries going for them. So after hearing all this, again, who do you got winning the game? If you got the Lions, put DET. If you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, put TB. Let's get into the matchups here. We're going to start first with the Detroit Lions defense. This is all in one game, so take these stats with a grain of salt. Points allowed per game. Lions defense gave up 20. That's 12th. Points per game, the Bucs offense is 37. They face different teams, right? The Lions faced a playoff contender, an NFC contender, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did not. Yards allowed per game, Lions allowed 387, that's 25th. Total yards per game was 392, that's 7th. Bucs offense was rolling. Passing yards per game, 304, 31st, as Stafford lit us up. Passing yards per game, 280, 4th. Remember, they went against a rookie quarterback. Rushing yards per game, Lions was 83, 8th. Rushing yards per game, 112, 17th. And now we'll do the opposite here. They dealt with a mobile quarterback. So their defensive yards allowed is going to be a little bit skewed. Lions are 4th with 0 turnovers. Predict the score of the game in the comments. Put your score prediction right now. Now let's switch it up. We'll go with the Lions offense. They put up 26 points. That's 13th in the NFL. Points allowed was 20th, 16th. Total yards per game, 363, 10th. Total yards they allowed was 299, 16th. Passing yards, 200, 13th. Passing yards per game, 161, 14th. Rushing yards, Lions was 163, 7th. Rushing yards was 138, 21st in the NFL. Again, tied with 4 turnovers. Both teams are good. It's hard to look at some of these numbers because they're skewed because it's just 1 week. About after week 5 or 6, we'll have a really good idea. Let's get into a player that the Lions need to look out for. How about Joe Tryon? Linebacker and pass rusher, 5 solo tackles. He had 1 sack this past game. Their defense is stout, strong. They got a lot of good players over there. And here's some of the other individuals you got to look out for. Servosi Dennis, another sack there. Levante David, the linebacker, one of the best in football at that position. C.J. Brewer and Jordan Whitehead as well is players the Lions got to look out for on defense. Obviously, when it comes to players that we're watching, one of the big ones here, who is Baker Mayfield. This past week, he put up 289 yards, 4 touchdowns, a QBR of 86.2, and they got offensive players that the Lions need to pay attention to. Very good ones. Mike Evans, wide receiver, one of the best in football, underrated. Chris Godwin, great number 2 wide receiver. And Jalen McMillan complement Trey Palmer. Those are good wide receivers that the Lions got to look out for. And the Lions DBs has got their hands full in this game because there are some good players. That is #facts. And I think the Lions are up for it, right? We got Carlton Davis. It's going to be his retaliation game as he was traded from Tampa Bay to Detroit. He's probably going to have a strong game. He's going to be motivated. Terran Arnold played well Sunday. So who do you got, TB, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and DET for the Lions? I want to talk to you about the sponsor of today's video. That's Game Time. They have killer deals and last-minute tickets and lowest prices guaranteed. They also have Game Time picks, and that is the best deals in your area. Mine being Grand Rapids. Whitecaps, $4 I can go to a game. Check out Game Time picks, where you can stop stressing and start getting hyped for the fun that you're going to have. It is easy to find and buy tickets for any kind of event in your area, whether that's sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, or whatever. Their lowest price is guaranteed. That's the Game Time guaranteed, which means you're always getting the best prices. And if you find tickets in the same area, a section or less, Game Time is going to credit you 110% of the difference. You can get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, baseball, basketball, concerts, and more. And in the middle screenshot, by the way, it is a fantastic feature of the app. It shows you where your seat is, and if you move your phone left to right, you can see the surrounding area like it's a 3D live photo. So download the app, plug in Chat Sports, and you're going to get $20 off your very first purchase. Again, go to the redeem code section, plug in Chat Sports. You're going to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms should apply. You got a cream count. You got to have an email to save that money. The link is going to be in the comment section and description of this video. So if you're buying Lions tickets this year, make sure using Game Time. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets and lowest prices guaranteed. What to watch for in this game, what the Lions need to do to win this game. First off, they need to stop Mike Evans, one of the best receivers in football, doesn't get enough credit. 6'5". The guy is a person who destroyed the Lions defense in the playoffs last year. They got a good arsenal of offensive weapons, but we cannot allow Mike Evans to put up 180 yards or anything to that nature. He only put up 61 yards this past game. The Lions need to lock him down. The Lions need to get to Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is a slippery quarterback. He can be mobile in the pocket, but his release of the football is a little bit slower than the average quarterback, and that's one of the reasons why they got to him a little bit last year in the playoffs. They did a lot of safety blitz and corner blitz. I don't know if they necessarily have to do that this game. I think they are much prepared on the defensive line. I think the Lions' defensive line can get to him, but you got to get to him. That's the thing. You got to hit him and allow him to wait for these receivers to get open on their big routes. You do that, we're going to get haymakers. So make sure he is sacked. Sack. We need to get Amon-Ra St. Brown involved in this game more and more and more. A lot more than it was this past Sunday. And we need to bake up the middle of the field and start destroying that bad boy, because that's an area that we can get to. We seen it last year in the playoffs. They were hitting the middle of the field with Sam Laporta, and they got St. Brown quite a bit. Do the same thing in this game. Get St. Brown started early. The moment that you start early, the moment that you're getting him involved, it's better for the Lions. It just really is, because that means it's going to open it up for everybody else. And if you open it up for everybody else, that is a good thing, especially Jameson Williams, who did really good this past Sunday. Just did. Predict the score on Sunday at 1 p.m. Lions and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you got the Lions winning, what is your score for it? I'm really curious to see what you guys have on this one. And if you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, whether you're a Tampa Bay fan or you're a Lions fan, why do you think they would win the game? Let us know your thoughts. Next, the Lions need to start fast. We didn't start fast this past Sunday. Let's start fast. Show the world that this offense can and is a machine. The moment that we let off the gas, especially early in the game, it could result in a lot of issues in the second half. We've seen it. We've had the third quarter woes. And again, it started week 1. So let's start fast and stay fast. This offense can do this. We can get involved, right? We can get swing passes, jet sweeps. We can do some play actions. Let's start fast offensively. If they can do that, the Lions got a great shot. We need to stop the run. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you get these guys running here, and White is a big back. I think that the Lions will make them one-dimensional, even though they got a great passing game. You don't want to do that because that's where your defense can tee off. So stop the run, force them to go one-dimensional, even though they got a good pass game. The Lions should be able to win the game. Here is my prediction after all of this, and you're going to say this is a crazy prediction, but I have the Lions winning 31-17. I just believe they're the better football team, and it's at home. So when you're at home, you're the better football team. Your defense is much upgraded. The Lions should be able to win this game. And that's why you see Vegas, the Lions have a 7-point advantage. Make no mistake about it, though. This is a playoff contending team. This is a team that wants revenge. We beat them in the playoffs. Don't think that they don't want that revenge. They want to come out victorious. They're going to give us everything they got. We got to come out prepared, and I think the Lions will be prepared. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the latest Detroit Lions news and rumors. With that said, folks, adios.